Some of the information in this video is going to sound a little bit out there, and it's going to be some things that kind of show behind the scenes what might be going on, more of a larger picture around the Great Awakening and why the truth is learned and not taught. I'm going to share with you exactly why I think that is. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now on this video, I'm going to be sharing with you more on the Great Awakening. We've had a lot of people that are loving the videos that I've been making on this, and I think there's a demand. People really want to understand what's going on, and people intuitively feel like there is something going on behind the scenes. There's the frontline stuff of everything where everyone's in their house and everyone's made to be a certain way or told to be a certain way, but then there's just more that is felt that is going on. Maybe you feel like the same thing. There's something more here, and so many people are starting and beginning to question their reality. There are so many people waking up right now. It is incredible, and I think that that is because we are just now beginning to really know that we are in the Great Awakening. It's something I believe has been happening for a while, but now it's avalanching down. And the next 10, 15 years, I believe, of our society are going to be some of the most transformative times ever. And when I study that I'll study a little, or I'll show you a little bit about the whole picture of this, show you why the truth is not taught, but learned. And part of this, though, has to do with some of the work of Dolores Cannon, who was a hypnotherapist who would put people into a very deep level of hypnosis. Their subconscious mind would come through, and what she would do is ask them questions like, why did you incarnate at this time? What was your purpose, or what is your purpose in life? What was your relationship with this person? Connecting also to past life, so kind of esoteric stuff. But Dolores Cannon has 19 books that are specifically on transcripts of people in this deep level of hypnosis. From all over the world, thousands of different people, one consistent thing that was said from all over the world from these people was that I came here to be a part of this transition, this shift, this awakening, this coming into power of the people. It came here to be a part of this. And it's because this lifetime, there's meant to be more transformation than ever before. That's why there's so many people here right now. Now, here's one of the things about reality. And this is also talked about in Dolores Cannon, also in the books The Law of One, which I have right over there. The books The Law of One are material that is from a husband that is a physicist asking questions to his wife who is bringing through higher vibrational information. It's a little bit esoteric, I understand that. However, the information is incredible. And a lot of what it talks about is understanding that right now there's something called the harvest going on. Now, the harvest is a transition in consciousness. It is a transition in levels of energy, we could say it as well. Over here you'll see shame, fear, anger, neutrality, acceptance, reasoning, love, joy, peace, enlightenment. This is from the scale from the book Power versus Force. And what happens is we're moving our vibration up. We're raising our vibration, and it's going to unveil a completely new reality. Now, the thing is, there are some people on the planet that for a long period of time have wanted to retain the resources, wanted to retain the power. So what these did, call them the elite, call them whatever you want, but what we did is we set up this game. In a way, it's like a game, and what we are doing is we are playing things out so that we can learn from this. Now, the reason I say that larger scoping thing right there is one of the things we come here to do, and this is talked about in Dolores Cannon, the Law of One, is we come into this reality to remember who we are. This is one of the few places, from what this information says, this is one of the few places in the universe where you come and you completely forget about your connection to Source. You forget that you are connected to everybody else. You forget that you are a divine being having a temporary human experience. That's why it makes this life so difficult for many people. Now, what it is said, though, is that we came here to remember. So we're coming here to remember who we are, to remember that we are eternal spiritual beings having temporary human experiences, and that's part of the purpose of life. And this is what we are moving through right now. Now, there's people that have realized there's been a certain level of control on the planet for a long time where people have known this power dynamic, and they've said, well, if we keep people in fear and anger, one, they are much easier to control, and two, they will look to authority for certainty. They will be told what to do, and it's so easy for them to do that. Plus, they're not going to question their reality much, because in fear and anger, you're in survival mode. And if you keep people on a hamster wheel of working so many hours a week, a job they don't like, by the time they get home, all they want to do is watch Netflix and go to bed. And then they don't ask questions, you know? They're like, is reality exactly what I'm being projected out to be? Is it that way? Well, there's a new episode of Westworld on right now. And then you just sit there and you watch TV, and you wake up the next morning, you're like, okay, back to work. So that's kind of a hamster wheel. Now what's happening though is so many people are at home right now that they're starting to question things. They're like, maybe there's things going on behind the scenes. Maybe every single thing I've ever seen, ever projected by the media has been completely negative. If you look a little bit deeper into that, you'll understand that 6 major corporations own all the media. If you call it talking about owning on the umbrella over Disney, you're talking about Viacom, all these different companies. They own all of it. It's like, oh, maybe there's a narrative there. Maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe when people are in fear and anger, they're more likely to believe the world's a scary place, and they're more likely to say yes to a lot of different things or give up their rights. There's many different layers to this, but there's people that realize this. There's people that was like, I want the resources. So then that's what they did, is they kind of facilitated things. You got bank systems that ain't backed by gold. It hasn't been backed by gold since 1980. But a lot of people are starting to wake up to a lot of this information. Literally, money has power because we agree it has power. It's just pieces of paper. And then the government's like, hey, we need more money. Let's print off more. Trillions of dollars. So it's like, what people are doing now is they're beginning to question things. So one thing that it talks about, and one part of the Great Awakening, is that the vibration is continuing to raise on the planet, but some people don't want it to raise because they want to retain the resources. So the more it raises, the more aware people become and the less power they have over the other people. So what's happening is those people are orchestrating different events, are doing things. They do sometimes very dark, magical, rich, like their own versions of controlling the collective consciousness. Let me also say that a lot of what I'm sharing right now sounds pretty out there. I understand that. When I first got into my awakening back in 2012, this stuff really kind of put me off at first. I was like, no, I don't even want to study this. This is too out there. But then I knew someone in my life that was a part of something for my whole life, that I've known this person. And they were a part of working for some type of organization that was around certain things that showed me there's more going on than what the government is pretending to be. And that opened me up because I trust this person. I know this person. This person's a little bit older now and is actually revealing some things that he saw when he was working for a certain organization. But yes, it's something that opened me up even more. And then since then, it's completely changed my perspective, and it's had me go down some rabbit holes. But one thing I recommend you do is do your own research and go within and see what actually resonates with you. And and focus and know that there's a larger picture at play here. So it's actually very empowering. Now, the harvest is in the book, The Law of One. It talks about how there'd be something called the harvest, which the harvest is us moving from one level of consciousness to the next. Now, this is like a chakra system. It's my version of that. You'll see you got the root chakra, which is survival. The sacral chakra, which is our connection in relationships. You have that of the solar plexus. The solar plexus is our level of willpower, control, purpose, doing things, taking action. The heart is obviously unconditional love, connection to others. The throat is the connection to speaking our truth. Then the third eye, which is intuitive center, and the crown chakra, which is kind of everything encased into one. There's you go deeper into all of these, but I'm just kind of giving a general basis of this. Now, what we're currently doing, as Law of One says, and many other sources, we're moving from a third density state of consciousness to a fourth. Third density is ruled by that of the solar plexus, which has been control. There's been a certain level of control. There's been a certain level of mitigation or a rearranging of resources. It's been a level of also solar plexus can have a lot of wanting growth and wanting to go in a certain direction. It's a powerful powerful part of the third density. The fourth density of the heart is unconditional love, knowing that we're all connected. So we wouldn't hurt someone else because we know that that someone else is also a version of us. Now, when we are predominantly in the negative aspects of 3D, we are normally 51% service to self. 51% service to self. Now, in order for us to ascend and to raise our vibration, what it is said in the law of one is that we must be 51% service to others or more. Which means really the awareness that everyone is connected, and the more value you put out in the world, the more comes back to you. So it's not the old paradigm of wanting to control the resources and narcissistically have everything to yourself. It's about understanding we're all connected, we're all in this, adding value. Now, in order to ascend, don't be bought into the fear. Some people will tell you, oh, you're going to get left behind. You're not. No, it's not going to happen. Everyone, we're all going through this. I believe that. There are certain people that might kick and scream as going through this. They may not want to get rid of the old belief systems, but I believe we will all make it. And it's just about us. It's just about us absorbing and being the light that we came to here to be. I believe that many of you watching these videos are what we could call light workers. You're meant to be pillars of this information during this time. And people are going to be looking to you for guidance in a way, to see that you're so relaxed. So one of the reasons that the truth is learned and not taught, because when I went through my awakening in 2012, I learned this, I was not taught it, and then I questioned, why wasn't I taught this? Why is this I have to find hidden information and connect the dots? Well, if you were taught it, you would have your power, and if you had your power, you wouldn't be able to be in this control faction. You wouldn't be just so willingly giving up your power. You see, so this is about understanding the dynamics here. And the dynamics right now is the Great Awakening on the planet, which we're all waking up to. But understand that at a greater consciousness level, we set the game up this way. What I mean by that is we wanted in a way to come here to forget who we are, to remember. It's part of the game. We wanted to see if we could do it. We also had other people play very dark roles. We've got some people that are playing and doing some very dark things. And they doing that, then what we do is we're like, let's take back our power. Let's not allow that to happen anymore. We say no to letting that happen. Whether that's some type of doing negative things with the collective, putting certain things out in the world to promote fear. We're like, no, we're not going to do that. We don't want no vaccinations and all this other stuff. And what we're realizing is that we can take our power back. Now, the way that this works, I want to also just explain this real quick. And if you want me to do more on the Great Awakening, could you do me a favor and comment below, like this video, and also subscribe if you haven't already. I got a lot more videos coming out like this. That's what I'm thinking of doing. Let me know, and I will make more. But there's the brainwave states. We've got beta, alpha, theta. Now, when you're a kid, you're primarily in beta state up until about 8 to 12 years old. Then you move into alpha state. And then from alpha, from that age until about puberty, you're then other way around. So you primarily growing up until about 8 or 12 are in a theta state, which is very deep, like absorbing the environment. It's programming your subconscious mind. Then up until about puberty, you're in an alpha state from like 8 to 13, 14 years old. And then beta state is when we, after like 14, 15 years old, we may primarily be in a beta state, which is the very alert state. Now what happens is when you're kept in a beta state, in fear, you're much more likely to be in survival mode. You're much likely to be distracted. Alpha is when sometimes you meditate. Alpha is also in the TV frequency, so that when you're watching things, you're being programmed. Literally, it's called TV programming. And the idea is that if we could reprogram the subconscious mind of people, then they're much more likely to be controlled or to take certain actions or to be a certain way. And a lot of our Disney movies and things growing up that we may have watched have been, in a way, ways of programming. Thinking that that's the narrative for the way things work. A lot of subliminal messages as well. This isn't conspiracy theory. There's a lot of subliminal messages in Disney movies. Things that imply certain things. Now, theta is the meditation state. So here's the thing. If we were to be and learn meditation, we would then begin to question reality. We would then begin to wake up more and more. That's one reason it may not be taught. It may not be promoted from the people that want to control things. Because they don't necessarily want people questioning their reality. So it's an interesting thing, but one of the ways you become free and you more easily move through this process of the Great Awakening is you begin to meditate and see what resonates with you. And that's one way of becoming free of these different programming, these different things. But understand that the Great Awakening is happening right now. It's one of the most powerful times to be alive than ever before. I really believe that. If you want more information on this, I have some. One called The Great Awakening Has Begun. One on 3 hidden agendas that are going on right now. It's a little bit deeper. I'll go ahead and link those videos below. Plus, you'll see a playlist at the end of this for the Great Awakening. Check them out. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, peace, much love, and namaste.